Hello, this is Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and this is a little different video because I want to show you how to use the VSDC Free Video Editor, some of the features of it. Also, I want to show you how to use WeTransfer, which is how you transfer files across the internet. And if you're a DJI or a Bebop or Unique or any drone flyer, this may come in handy for you if you want to send a copy of your video to somebody. So one of the things you'll see me do is I'll be shifting through all the different applications that are running on the computer. And so how I do that is I hold down the Alt key on a Windows tablet anyway. I hold down the Alt key and press the Tab key, and every time you hold the Alt key and press the Tab key, you'll see you'll switch from one thing to another. The reason I want to show you that is because if you're looking at a video and trying to learn from it, and then you have to stop and go try it, you don't have to minimize or anything like that. You just hit the tab, Alt tab. I'll show you right here. Well, there's all the applications I've got running. As I hold down the Alt key and press the Tab key, I go between them all. So there. Now we finished with that one. So anyway, I'm going to get started with telling you about the VSDC Video Editor. So here we go. The VSDC Free Video Editor is truly free. There are no limitations on time. There's no ads. It's just a free editor. If you pay the extra $19.95, you get a few things which most of us never need. So it is really free. It's the VSDC Free Video Editor. And the reason that I'm making this video is because another service, a website called WeTransfer.com, allows you to send video files up to 2 gigabytes a piece. But sometimes you have a larger file than that, like 4 gigabytes. And in that case, you need to split the file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use this editor, which is free, to split a file, and so you can send it one part at a time. Sometimes you need to split it more than twice, depending upon the size of the file. But with WeTransfer, as long as it's under 2 gigabytes, you can send the first part. Once it's uploaded, you can immediately start sending the second part, and it's a very nice editor. Plus, I will also show you how to rejoin the files once your friend that you mail these to, you're emailing these to, receives them. So let's go ahead and get started. When you first open up the video editor, you will see a screen that you're not going to see when I open it up, because I went ahead and paid the $19.95 because I use this, and I make a few dollars a year off of my ads on my website. So I feel like I need to pay for it. So right here in the middle of the screen, you would normally see a splash screen, but it doesn't show up on mine. Now, we're not going to go into all the details of how to use this because I am really not an expert on it. But we're going to go over here to the left side and we're going to click on Blank Project. All right. When you look here, the first thing that you want to do after giving it the name that you want to give it is you want to go down here and click there and make sure that it's not way down here somewhere because they usually, when it's new, it'll be like 800 by 480 pixels or something like that. And I don't know why they do that, but that's how they do it. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the 1920 by 1080 pixels. And that gives us full high definition, and it's quite good quality. And we're just going to call this project, we'll just call it, well, let's see, let's just call it Splitter. That sounds like a good project. All right, and the rest of this stuff we won't go into. Oh, we can also set it so it's mono. It'll record, it'll export faster that way. So because this is this program that I'm going to use, the video I'm going to use is not stereo. So we click on Finish, and that takes us to this screen. And when you first get to this screen, it's not going to look, this is probably going to be squeezed way over here on the right hand side. So you can move these things around and set them up the way you want them. And like I said, I'm not going to go into all the details. Now, this part up here at the top, if I go over here and click on this, it goes away. Or if I click on the down arrow, it comes back. So I like to work with it down, but if you need more room, you can work with it up. The first thing that we're going to do is go right down here, and we're going to add a video. So you just click once on that right there, and then I will go to my desktop, and on my desktop I have a folder with VSDC files just for this video. Double click on that, and we're gonna open up the final version that I created of the WeTransfer video that I made to show how to use WeTransfer. And so we'll double click on that, and now it wants to know a lot of different things, but we want it to start from the cursor position, which if you look down here is right at 0. So the cursor position on our editor is at 0, and that's what we want it to do. I'm not going to go into the rest of this stuff because some of it I really don't even understand. We'll click on OK, and here comes the video. Now down here in this line right down here, and let's see, I think we can move this somewhere. We can move it up, but I won't worry about it. Right down here, this is our video, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to split this one in half. It's really not big enough I need to, but we're going to go ahead and split it in half. So we grab a hold of the cursor, and we come about halfway down here. That looks like about half right there, okay? And we'll click on it to make sure it's selected. Now we go up to our editor. By the way, let's go through this. Here's our project options, our scenes we won't go deeply into, and then our edit, which has all these extra things across here that we can do to our video. View, when we click on these, we turn them off, okay? So if I click on layout tools, it won't show up. So we just leave those on for now. But we want to go to the editor. This is where you will work most of the time. And we just figured out about halfway through our video, and we want to split it in two. And right there, that's the thing we click on to split it into parts. You notice there's a lot of options up there. We're just going to click on that. Now when we do that, if you look down here now, you can see that well, I can't really show you. Let's see, I got to move this up. Can I move this up? Yeah, there we go. We'll move it up just a little bit. Okay, so now we've got final 1 and final 2, the two different parts. And if I, like for instance, they're still stuck together, and so how do I get them apart? Well, what you do is we'll just move about where they were, and you just click in a gray area, and that deselects them. And then we go back, we'll get this over here like this, and now we can select part 1, or we can select part 2, okay? So what we'll do is, to make it simple, is we'll delete part 2. Now how do we delete part 2? We just, on our keyboard, just click the delete button, okay? Now part 2 is no longer available. But I'm going to undo that, so we'll go back up here to our undo and put that back where it belongs, okay? Because what we want to do is, before we go any further, is we want to save this project, just in case we mess up. So we go up here to, the little save icon up here, click on that, and now we're going to go to our desktop, go to our VSDC files, and we're going to call this splitter.vproj, okay? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to save it. Now, if we mess up, we can bring it back up and use it. So now that we've got final 2 selected, we're going to hit the delete key, and we just have final 1. All right, so now we are ready to export the first part. Now, when you come up here to export project, all right, up at the top, when you first when you first open this up, everything's going to be looking like, get it back over here, everything's going to be over to the left. All your options are going to be over to the left. we could save something to our PC. We can make a DVD, make something special for the iPhone, but we want to put it on the web. So we're going to click on web. Now, what does that mean? That's not going to upload it to YouTube or anything, although we could, because that option's on there somewhere right there. But what we're going to do is we're going to make it an MP4 file. If we wanted to run it straight to YouTube, we could click on that, and it would go up to YouTube. And I don't like to do that from within the program, so I don't do that. So we're going to go to MP4. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to look down here in this line right here. Okay, you'll notice it wants to save it to videos, and I don't want to save it to videos. So we're going to change the name, and if I was to go in and set the presets, I could have that go someplace else. But that's a good place right there, videos. So we're going to click on change the name, and now we're going to go to desktop and our VSDC files. And we'll call it Splitter 1, okay, because this is going to be the first part of our splitter. And then we'll click on Save. And now you'll notice right away, okay, now it's not doing anything right away. No, I'm sorry. So now we go over here and we click on Export Project. So we click on that. And by the way, I forgot to tell you, we can turn off the preview, and it'll go faster, but I should have done that before we started. So I'll tell you what, let's just stop. We'll just stop. And we'll go back here to conversion, and there's where you turn off the preview. If you turn the preview off, then you won't have to, it'll go faster, it'll work faster. So we'll start the conversion again. Now it tells me that I've already started a file called Splitter 1. So it says, do we want to replace it? Well, yes, we do. So we'll get started with that. And now, if we look at the very top up here, it's going to start going through the percentages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so forth. And we could sit here and watch it, but I think we'll probably come back later. All right, we have exported our first half of our video. And now we're going to go back and we're going to export the second half. So we go up here on the top and we go to Edit. And here is our cursors at the end of our video. We should be able to come back here. And we'll put it right there. Well, let's see. Yeah, we'll put it right there. What we're going to do is we're going to go up here and we're going to click on Undo. We shouldn't even move that, but that's all right. All right, now we have our two files back, and we have we've done final 1. We've put it, we've exported it. Now we want to export final 2. So we're going to go ahead and click on final 1, and then we're going to hit the delete key, and now we're going to drag final 2 over to the beginning point of our video. Okay, so now the cursor, where the cursor is located, that's where it's going to start when we hook them up together. So we're going to go ahead and export this video, and then we'll pretend like we're sending it, and then we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and go up here and click on Export Project. And we want to do a web type, and we want the MP4, and we want conversion not to show the preview. So we'll go to export, and I think we're ready to go. Oh, by the way, we have to change the name. So we're going to come down here, and we have Splitter 1 there, okay? And now we're going to call this one Splitter 2 because it's the second half. All right, so we've got that done. Now we're going to go up and we're going to click on Export Project, and it's going to start exporting it. All right, we have now exported part 2 to our folder. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back to the Edit, and we're all through here. Actually, we can close down our VSDC editor, and we will go to WeTransfer.com, and I'll just show you how we can. We'll just transfer one or get it started, and we'll take a look at how that works. So we'll go ahead and close. And one of the things, if you haven't used it, it's going to ask you some questions ahead of time before you get to this screen. Okay. So I'm going to send this to myself, so I'm going to click mrkent.com@gmail.com, and then I'm going to add a file. Okay, so we're going to go up here, and we're going to go to the desktop and our VSDC files, and we're going to start with part 1. Okay, so we'll get that and list it up there. And as it turns out, you can see it's only 345 megabytes, but we'll pretend that it's almost 2 megabytes. Now we're going to put a message to the person we're sending it to. We'll just say, here is part 1. Okay? And then we click on transfer. And you'll notice that there's a 0%, and now there's a 1%, and it's going to go like this, and it's going to take quite a while. But eventually it will say it's finished, and we can close this out, or we can start sending the second half. And then our friend will get an email, and he can put the two of them together. So we'll go ahead and stop at this point, and then I'll show you how to put it back together when you get it. I don't think I need to show you, but I'll show you how to put it back together when you get the two parts in the mail. So we'll move on and get. All right, you will receive an email that says your files were sent, and all the information is available there. And so you'll get that email, and then your friend will get this email, and it says Mr. Kent sent you some files via WeTransfer, and it looks like we have more than one here. Let's take a look here. Okay, that's okay. So this is the splitter one, the first file, and so we're going to get that file. So we'll go here and we'll click on get the files, and that will take us to WeTransfer. And now we're going to get splitter 1 MP4, and we're going to download it, and we're going to take it and put it on our desktop, and it's going to go in the person sent to file. So this is the guy that we sent these movies to, so he's going to save it, and it's going to download. Okay, and I think it got all downloaded. Now we'll go back to our email, and if we come down here, there should be a second one, and sure enough, there's splitter 2, so we'll get that file, and that will take us to WeTransfer, and we'll download splitter 2, and we're going to download that to the person we sent to folder, which is myself, because I sent it down there, or sent it to myself. Okay, now we have those files are all downloaded. So the next thing we're going to do is we'll just go ahead and minimize that, and we'll open up our free video editor. Alright, and we're going to go over here to blank project, just like we did to begin the other time. We'll click on that, and we want to make sure that the videos are going to be high quality, so you might want to double check that every time, and we want it to be 1920. And we're going to call this, we'll call it, let's see, together. So the files are going to be put together. And you want to check this because sometimes you want the audio to be stereo, but in this particular case it's going to be mono. So we'll click on finish. Now we have to go over here and click on our little add audio icon, and we need to go up to the person sent to. All right, and we'll go ahead and we'll start with splitter 1. We'll put him, download him, and we want to start from the cursor, so we'll go there. All right, now then, here's the first half of our video, and what we want to do before we put the second half in is we want to drag this cursor down to the end of the video. So that would be right about there, I guess. Okay, now we go over and we're going to click on add a video. I'm going to take splitter 2, and splitter 2, we're going to put it from the cursor position. Okay, so we'll click on OK, and now we'll scroll, and let me see, we've got to scroll down over here. Whoop. How do we do this? Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, so now we have our 2 files, if you'll notice down here. Our 2 files are there. We got splitter 1, splitter 2, and now we're going to export those. So go up here to export project, and we want it to be MP4, and everything is set. And we want it to go to a different place this time. We're going to change the name because we're doing it to our person sent to. Oh, there we go. We already got it. We'll just put it right there together. So we'll click on save, and we'll click on export project, and it's going to export it to our folder. So you can see that the splitting it and putting it back together works just fine. And if you want to send a big file of any kind across the internet, this is the way to do it with WeTransfer.com. So I want to thank you for listening, and God bless you.